guys, Winch here, bringing you some high-definition video recording of Battlefield 3 multiplayer gameplay. I want to start a new series this time. I want to start like an advanced tactics series. Those of you see my videos, got a lot of videos out now about reviews of weapons and basic strategies and tips for the various classes. And now I want to start a new series about advanced strategies and commentary on really how you should fine-tune your class or your vehicle. In this video I want to talk about the helicopter again. I have a couple videos out about the helicopter, just one showing just some basic stuff, and the second one about the gunner seat. This one's me as a pilot again on Wake Island with the new DLC content. But I want to talk about not necessarily how to fly this. Again, I really can't tell you how to fly the helicopter. But I can tell you what you need to be doing and what your mindset should be while you're in the helicopter. Again, your main role in the helicopter is always to attack ground. Don't worry about the air stuff, again, with the exception of the other helicopter. And the last half of this video, I'm going to have a little clip pretty much expressly on the enemy helicopter, how to handle that. So in this footage here, I just want to talk about what you should be doing when you're flying around the ground. Okay, now fortunately now I got a gunner in the seat, and you always want to have a gunner in your seat. He's going to be your main, that's the strongest position in the game, as I mentioned before. But on Wake Island here, I'm just going to basically switch between these two positions, Alpha and Charlie, because I know they're spawning on the south side of these islands and pushing up with Jeeps, and Jeeps are just dead meat when it comes to helicopter. I think later on in the match here, you get like a triple kill with these guys that were in a Jeep. But as you can see here, I'm constantly moving. I'm not the best at hovering this, but I would never recommend hovering just at a stationary position for very long, because at some point, either a jet or a guy with a SMAW or a Stinger, whatever, doesn't matter, any kind of rocket, it's going to take you out if you just sit there. You're just a big fat sitting duck. So you can see here, when I see the enemy helicopter coming, I've got everything unlocked in the helicopter. I've got the air-to-ground radar, so it keeps me, basically, you can't lock onto me when I'm close to the ground, so I'm trying to use that to my advantage here. I'm trying to get a lock on this guy, because I know he can't lock onto me when I'm close to the ground, but unfortunately can't always get in that position, so you gotta climb up. And most air-to-air engagements, and I'll talk more about this in detail later on, but most air-to-air engagements are won with you being at the higher altitude of the other helicopter. So if you can get up above him, chances are you're going to win the engagement most of the time. But I don't know what happened, because I didn't shoot him down. I don't know if he crashed or what. So I move on back to attacking ground units. Now, usually I'll make a pass at something, and it's rare for me to take it out on the first pass, whether it be a dude running around, a guy in a vehicle. More than likely I'm going to disable the vehicle. Then you want to bring around for a quick pass again to finish it off. And then unlocks I have with the helicopter right now are air-to-ground or air-to-air radar, because that's my first tier perk. Some would argue that stealth radar is better than that, but I disagree. Yes, stealth radar is a really big obstacle if you're fighting another helicopter, but that's really all to me it's good for. You might survive a little bit longer in the helicopter, but in terms of your situational awareness, it's going to be much less comparatively if you don't have air-to-air radar. Because air-to-air, basically you can see everything on my mini-map. As you can see, I can see ground units, in terms of tanks, jeeps, anything, any vehicles in the air, jets, helicopters. That to me is much more important than somebody not being able to lock on me, just a few seconds longer than normal. Because either way, they're going to lock onto you eventually, So air-to-air radar is the most important perk to me, and obviously you gotta have flares. That's a no-brainer. It's even better if your gunner has flares, but that's, again, if you have everything locked in the gunner seat, then chances are you're not gonna have flares equipped. But on this map in particular, I use this terrain to my advantage, and that's the most important survival strategy you can do as a chopper pilot, is constantly moving and using the terrain to your advantage. Get down low where people can't shoot you, and right now I know this helicopter's up after me, so I'm going to use this terrain to my advantage, pop back up over it after he loses visual sight of me, and then use a surprise attack on him. And it doesn't matter what map you're playing on, you want to use that terrain to your advantage. Run and hide, stay low, use cover, you know, break that visual contact that whatever enemy has with you, whether it be a stinger or just him chasing you. You try to run and hide, swing back around, pop up, and then reassess your threat and target. I think right here is just where, maybe not be mistaken, yeah, I think that's where I get the triple kill, right there, yeah. Boom. I mean, I don't know, well, I just wiped out a ton of guys right there with rockets, and my gunner helped me out. I mean, this helicopter, this is why it's so important. I mean, I go this entire match without dying once in the helicopter. It's basically a flawless match in the helicopter on Conquest, Wake Island. Don't die once, never even have to hop down or repair. But if you have an engineer in your gunner seat, you obviously want to be an engineer, so whenever you do get hit and you get below that threshold on your damage where you hear, you know, basically you got a fire going, you know, you want to be able to set it down somewhere where you can hop out and get repaired. I mean, that's just common sense stuff. Also, the last perk I have is Heat Seekers. I prefer that over guided rockets. I don't know what guided rockets are really supposed to do. It says it improves your accuracy with the rockets, but to me, they just don't seem that effective. I'd take Heat Seekers any day over that, because again, your number one air threat is going to be the other enemy chopper. That's a really hard threat to deal with. They've after the patch now, they've really improved the damage on the rockets against enemies, because it used to just take the entire rocket salvo to kill one guy. You see the mistake this guy's doing right here. He's not addressing me as his primary threat. You know, you got it. That's always your number one threat in the helicopter, is the other helicopter. After that, then you can focus on attacking ground units. And I've seen this a lot more prevalent. I don't know if I want to make a whole nother video of this, but I want to touch on it now. But the PlayStation is absolutely pushed to its capabilities and its limits with this game, and I see it much more in the later DLC content. The frame rate is just atrocious on some of these maps in the helicopter. I mean, it's not even lag. You'll just be trying to fly around, and the frame rate will be so slow and jerky in the game. The hardware on the system is pushed to its limits so bad that you can't even hardly fly it sometimes, and you'll crash into something when you know that wasn't the case. So it's well past time for a new PlayStation, and I wish the hardware consoles would be a little more in gear with that nowadays, with improving technology. I mean, the PlayStation's 5 years old now. I mean, it's time to move on. At least allow you to be able to upgrade the hardware on the system rather than just creating new systems or slimmer versions of it. You know what I mean? It's, you know, this is one thing the PC guys really harp on, but yeah, your hardware is much better, PC guys. I'm not going to argue with that. So you can see here, look at that. Had all kinds of guys light me up with stingers, so I'm not going to sit around there all day. I'm going to run away. I'm going to let them come to me over here on Alpha. Helicopters up again. I'm going to mention this later on too, but I want to mention it now because it's really important about this with helicopters. When you're fighting the enemy helicopter and he's got flares, which 90% of them will. Oh wow. I forgot that happened right there. So I crash here because some stupid ass pilot ran into me, and I don't know how to destroy the helicopter, but my buddy jumped out and he repaired this, and we're back in the action. But unfortunately, I couldn't wait around for him to get back in, so I had to leave him there. But I think he spawns back to me later on. I forgot that happened. That was funny. We're back in it here. But what I was mentioning earlier is when you're fighting the enemy helicopter, he's got flares. Shoot one missile at him. Don't shoot both of your salvos at once. You got 2 missile rockets. Shoot one at him. Let him deploy his flares. Then your rocket will chase that. Then you still have one missile ready to go. So then you can relock onto him quickly. And then, you know, by the time you relock onto him, you can fire that one missile left. Because if you fire both of them, chances are by the time you lock onto him again, your rockets won't be reloaded in time. See what I'm saying? So shoot one missile at him, relock onto him, shoot that second one, and then you will have a hit on him before, you know, you would have if you just shot both your missiles, which wouldn't do anything. Real important. I'll mention that again here later in the video. That's the best way you can take out an enemy helicopter. I also want to address some of the comments I've been getting about the helicopter. And you know, guys, I just tell it like it is here on my channel. I may appear to be a little rough around the edges, and that's just my personality, so I apologize if I may have offended some of you. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings now, because some of my videos I've had out about the chopper, I'm just not easy on you noobs, I'm sorry, but, you know, I expressed a lot of disappointment and frustration with people just jumping into that helicopter, particularly at the beginning of matches, or spawn camping it the whole game, and crashing it, and then, you know, I'm kind of chewing people out about that, and, you know, people are like, it's just a game. Well, yeah, I'm going to have a video out about that too here in the future, because it's a little more than that to me, and, but, you know, I'm not trying to be rude to you guys and stuff like that. I understand that it's a little rough what I'm saying sometimes, and, you know, criticism is not easy to take, but all I'm trying to say is if your skills are not up to par, especially now that this game's been out for a little while, especially if you just got this game after Christmas, man, you're like drinking from a fire hose right now. But all I'm trying to say is don't hop into it right off the bat, don't spawn camp it, let the more experienced people play in it, because the helicopter is real important. I mean, it can literally turn the tide of the match in your favor, which I've shown before. Look at all those Christmas noobs on the right side. That's probably the only reason I survived as long as I did, because, again, I'm not the best chopper pilot, but, I mean, I really shouldn't have gone that long. So this next half of the video, I just kind of want to address specifically the chopper and fighting other helicopters, because, again, that's going to be your biggest obstacle in the pilot position. Always get a gunner, wait for your gunner to run up. Just don't take off without a gunner, see that a lot. But again, stealth it's a good thing to have on the helicopter, but again, I don't put it on because I like to have the situational awareness, because again, the main role of the helicopter is to attack ground targets. So if you can't see a ground target, then you're going to be useless in the helicopter position. Look at these F-35 guys. You know, it's kind of funny watching these guys fly around in that. I don't know. Apparently now everybody's talking about how bad of a vehicle it is, and I guess it is, because whenever I get in it too, I can't do squat with it. It's just not very effective, if you ask me. But again, if you can't see something, you know, if you don't have your radar on, chances are you're not going to see it. You know, you're concentrating on flying around and everything like that. So I mean, if you don't have it on that mini map, you're not going to know where it's at. And that's again the most important thing about the helicopters, being able to know where the enemies are at. See, I see this tank over here. Pop at him real quick, give him a little visit. Disable him, come back around. You know, just pass after pass. And you always try to get the tank from behind too. That helps out a lot whenever you're in the helicopter. You're always shooting it from above where its armor's weaker. So here we go. We got the helicopter. I'm gonna lock onto him. I shoot my flares. Somehow he broke my lock because he launched his flares before. You can do that too, but once I saw him launch his flares, that's a mistake. You know, you're pretty much screwed. But you can release your flares to break an enemy lock if they have it on you. That will always break their lock. But again, when you're head-to-head battle with an enemy helicopter, you probably want to wait for them to shoot a rocket off first. When you hear that pitch go from the first pitch to the second tone. Look at this. These guys came over in the Venom helicopter, bailed out, and stole our jet. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. That's just... Yeah, and you see, that's creative gameplay. I gotta hand it to them, but man, it sure pissed me off when I saw it. So now I got 3 jets up here all coming after me. But again, this is how you fly the helicopter. You stay low, you keep wrapping around terrain, you do whatever you can to break the lock. You know, get down in the trees, but you gotta watch out for the antennas. Savior ribbon, that's right. And you notice in my video, I just don't go after jets much. Just once every so often I do. Just to kind of let them know I'm there. But look at this guy, crashed the F-35, he's taking a swim. That's not a good day for a swim, is it, everybody? It's, yeah. Stuff like that cracks me up when I'm playing. I'm just like, well, what's going through this guy's mind right now? Probably, oh shit. Chopper number 2. Let's do it again. Again, I like to stay low to the ground if I can, you know, based on my advantage. But you see me, I shot 1 missile at him. So now I got another one. I'm gonna lock on him. Boom. Shoot it again. chances are that's going to take him out most of the time. Now you can also equip fire extinguisher, which I've yet to do. I just think the loadout I have is you just can't beat it. But you can do that. But again, that seems to be more a defensive kind of thing. I think defensive perks like fire extinguisher and stealth, I think those perks really water down the effectiveness of the chopper. You know, if you got those on, you're just not going to be that effective. Again, your main responsibility is going after ground units. And since I just don't see any right now on my mini-map, because it pretty much people know by this match, this is one after Wake Island. They know any better nowadays to roll around in tanks and stuff like that. So, you know, now I can just kind of switch my focus to air vehicles, and then we eventually push on into their spawn, which is, you know, something you typically don't want to do, but because they got that anti-air gun over there. Come across a bunch of dudes out here in the water again. What the hell? See that later on. And I wasn't paying attention to my radar right there, which is a big mistake on my part. But you saw that guy shooting rockets at me. You can see how ineffective those are. But again, altitude. Always climb up. Hold that R2 button and get it up high. Hopefully your gunner can finish them off in those kind of face-to-face engagements when you're kind of close for air-to-air missiles. I think we actually ran into each other right there. But again, got to keep those crosshairs on them when you're. I mean, if you can't do that, then you're going to be done. I don't stick around high for very long. That's a big classic mistake that helicopter guys make. You get high to take care of the helicopter, enemy helicopter, and then get back down low because you're going to be jet bait way up here. Like, yeah, you can see on this map again, the frame rate, oh, the screen tearing, it's just getting out of control now. I mean, I don't know if it's because I have a first generation PlayStation, but man, this PlayStation 3, and Battlefield 3, and like Crysis 2, I saw it as well. The games now are just, they're really surpassing the capability of the hardware restraints on the PlayStation 3, so we really do need a new PlayStation, or at least some kind of hardware upgrade. So here we are again. It's like, I swear, this guy spawns every 30 seconds. Did I just deal with this guy? Figure is shoot. Why do people shoot their flares before you even have a lock on them? I mean, what are you guys doing? This is, you know, that's what you don't do right there. And I don't know how he fired his rockets on me, or missiles, without even having a lock on me, but somehow he did. So now we push on to their spawn here a little bit, because I get tired of them constantly coming out in these helicopters. Finish off the last few guys, and then you'll see right here at the deck of this gun, or this ship, you want to watch out for that anti-air gun. I see a guy run across the deck here going for that anti-air gun. I'm like, wait a minute, buddy, let's stop right here. So that's about the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Got more advanced series coming up. Please subscribe if you liked the video, and let me know if there's anything you want to see or any comments. I always read their comments. Thanks for watching, guys.